California commies are getting sick of rampant crime after a huge uptick in homicides, gun violence, and robberies in touristy Hollywood. An LA City councilman is now allocating lots of money to pay for more police on the streets. But is it too little too late for these liberal leaders to come crawling back to the blue for help? Joining me now, co-host of KFI AM 640's The Gary and Shannon Show. You can hear KFI on iHeartRadio. It is Gary Hoffmann. Welcome back, Gary.
Thanks, Kennedy. How are you?
So we're going to see a lot more Hollywood horses, which I think is it's fantastic because people love cops on horseback. Is that just me? Is that just my category, Gary?
Probably. I would be terrified to see a horse down at Hollywood and Highland. That would not bring me comfort, I think, because I would imagine that horse is about to kick somebody square in the face, just out of fear that, like, Hollywood Jack Sparrow is going to tweak out and scare the horse. It's not comforting to me, at least.
Yeah, but we do have to bring things back into balance, don't we?
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
So what's going on in Hollywood?
Cops, okay, so the Mitch O'Farrell, who is the city council member who represents that area of the city of Los Angeles called Hollywood, the 13th district, he has decided that he's going to allocate some of his office's funds and put more or pay for more LAPD shifts. So we're not getting more officers. It's not a refunding of the police necessarily, but it's at least putting more uniformed officers on the streets of Hollywood. And listen, if your viewers haven't been to Los Angeles in 5, 10, 20, ever, maybe, whatever, Hollywood is not, I mean, I know you use the word touristy to describe it, and it is a tourist destination for a lot of people, but it is not movie studios up and running. It's not, you know, TV stars walking down the street that you bump into. Yeah, that's Burbank. That's Toluca Lake. That's on the other side of the hill. The problem with Hollywood is it is a tourist destination, and people who come here from Arkansas, who come from Colorado, who come from Montana or Illinois or anywhere else may not realize that it is a tourist destination to the point that every single person who walks down that street is potentially a target. And that is becoming the issue. The people who would inflict crime and pain on other people are going to look at a place like Hollywood as just a target-rich environment. So we've seen, like you said, the numbers of crimes go up. Homicides are up, 75% over the course of the last year or so.
Jesus.
And there's an acknowledgement that there is a problem. Right. And that's from the city councilman who made that statement. So there's an acknowledgement that there's a huge problem when it comes to crime and protecting not just visitors in the form of tourists, but the people who live there, the residents who live there. So these 200 new shifts that are going to be added over the course of the next, say, couple of months are just really to get the police presence on the streets, because we all know, whether we want to admit it or not, whether we think it's bad or not, the simple presence of law enforcement, uniformed law enforcement officers in a place, whatever that place is, will cut down on crime. It's been proven over and over again. It may not make people feel better, but to me, it's better than walking up on a one-ton horse that's about to kick me in the kidneys.
It's not going to kick you in the kidney. It likes you. Horses can sense good people, Gary. They know that you and Shannon are just all right by the animal world. But yeah, tweaked out Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh, he's asking for it. He's basically wearing a target on his questionable teeth. So why is it taking so long?
Well, what's taken so long is that people want to believe that Hollywood is a fairy tale place. Like I said, I mean, if you're coming here from anywhere outside of the 213, 818 area code, whatever it is, you have this belief that Hollywood is just full of literal stars, not just the stars on Hollywood Boulevard. That it's just a fun place to be, and you could pick up your nice T-shirt that says "I'm a lifeguard in California" or "My parents went to Hollywood and all they got was this crappy T-shirt."
I have one of those.
But to get one of those, you have to walk over homeless people. You literally have to potentially walk over vomit or excrement or fecum, whatever choice you want. You're going to have to walk past it to get to the tourist shop.
Thank you for introducing me to a new word that I'm going to insert in one of my monologues next week. Gary, we have to go. Thank you for keeping LA safe, one kidney at a time.
Hey, one kidney at a time. Watch out for that Spider-Man. He's not really good.
Oh, no, he doesn't have special powers, and that's not a lightsaber in his pants. Gary Hoffmann, KFI AM 640.
No, it's not.
Very good.